a Teacher's Day, and I'm sure we all remember fondly that one teacher who shaped our life in our formative childhood days. Today, we are meeting a teacher who has taught English, environmental science, and general knowledge for 22 years at reputed school in Bhilai, Chhattisgarh. She designed curriculum and led teacher training workshops across India. She's certified IELTS PTE trainer, currently coaching students and professionals online. She partners with NGOs to deliver English education to underserved communities. She also blends formal teaching with digital instruction and grassroots outreach. Let's meet Mrs. Soma Sarkar. Thanks, Soma Didi, for joining us for this conversation. And let me start my questions to you.
Teacher get the energy from? You have been a teacher for so long.
Well, um, basically, any individual normally gets energy from food, a good night's sleep, and exercises. But the teachers have an additional source of energy, and that comes from the students themselves. The students they radiate a lot of energy, and particularly if you teach small children, they are so hyperactive, they are so natural, and so in my case, I believe I got those and I got that energy from them, and I continue getting it because I continue, though I'm a senior citizen now, but I continue teaching, and that is one of those reasons I need that energy. I need that energy because it helps me with my enthusiasm to move ahead in life and to take up any work given to me. So that sort of mental and physical energy I think I get from my students, which they radiate throughout the day. I mean, throughout the time we are teaching them.
Very makes sense. And what's your success criteria for yourself as a teacher?
I taught in a reputed school for more than 2 decades. And of course, initially, when I joined, I was a young woman. And for me, like others, promotion, salaries, all that mattered. But with as time passed and I gained wisdom and experience, I learned and I experienced too that my success is totally related to the success of my students. So if my students are successful, that is my result card. I feel very happy. Again, success of the students, how do you measure that? So quantitatively, of course, it depends on the scores of the students, but basically we are teaching students, parents also expect that, but that is not the only success, I believe. For me, I believe a successful student is the one who's able to nicely balance academics and other skills, soft skills, creativity, thinking out of the box. All these things are necessary. And I try to focus on that. I try to focus on my children to think a little differently, because for that thinking is very important. Nowadays, because of the exposure of these children to social media and internet, the thinking capacity, I don't, I won't say has lessened. That exposure has lessened. They don't need to think. They get everything ready-made. So I try to, put questions in such a way or teach in such a way that so that I can, get from them. I make them think in a different way or from some other angle. That is, I believe, is my success from the success of my students from whatever angle you may call it. So if a student is composing a poem, and I have a student like that, she's very much into composing poems. She's in class 10th. She's a very good student. She gets awards in her school, but she manages to write little poems, and she sends them to various contests. Um, so I feel somewhere my contribution is also there because I encouraged her reading a lot of poems, understanding them, relating to one's life. So I believe in my way, that is my success.
Well said. Well said. Thank you. Shoma Didi, let me step back. Let me ask you one thing. Why did you choose this profession?
Frankly speaking, it is by accident. So after I got married, I went to a place. I mean, if you think of my age, it must be 35 years back, where jobs were very limited, very stereotyped, and we didn't have internet. In fact, the place I lived was a very small place where the Times of India reached 2 days later. So you can imagine there, I wanted to always work because I was a good student myself. I was interested in academics. Um, so for me, I found the only way I could do something there was go for teaching. So uh, miraculously, I got admission in B.Ed. I did my B.Ed, joined a reputed school, and slowly it unfolded that I loved teaching. It was there, maybe somewhere hidden. There was no scope for doing that. But once I started working, I felt a connection between education, me, and the student because I enjoyed teaching. So whenever I went to school, every day I went to school, in fact, I was very happy. I was in a happy mood. Though I had household work, and every working woman has a lot of tensions and worries that to be left at home and the children are not. But once I entered the school, I think 80% of all those anxieties just vanished. I was so involved, teaching them, doing something, and competitions and sports and this and that. So I think later I really, now I feel, that that's a good profession I took up, and I'm happy with it. I'm very happy with it. Because, today at this age, I'm able to even work online. Very few professionals can do it post, at a stage like that. And I feel my importance is is increasing with my experience and wisdom and all. I understand the students much better than I used to maybe 3 decades earlier.
So true. And any advice on young minds who want to choose this profession?
Oh, okay. This is a very tricky question because students, if you ask youngsters, they're more into, they have this corporate thinking. Many of them would not maybe opt for teaching. Very few you might find there. But as I said, a profession is not only connected with money, materialism, which of course to a certain extent is required, but the satisfaction you get teaching students. And I remember a quote by somebody: the teaching is a profession which teaches other professions or other professionals. So that is something I realized when I have doctors and engineers and IS officers and even scientists or phoning me because they are my students, or maybe when I meet them, uh, I feel that these are the people I tried to. I never wanted. I don't know. I never created them, but yes, maybe I motivated them somewhere. I stuck a code with them, or they were influenced or motivated in my small way. So today they are successful, and I feel happy about it. That somewhere my contribution is there. So I always, appreciate soldiers who fight for the country, who keep us safe. But again, I feel there are certain professions like those of doctors, nurses, and teachers, because we do a lot of service for creating a healthy society. And for a teacher, like I believe, I didn't realize where from I shifted from being a teacher to a mentor, and then today I'm becoming a counselor. And I really love that because students have faith that ma'am can do something for me. So this is something, again, a very big experience when you become a mentor to somebody, not to somebody, to so many people. And then you become a counselor. I mean, that they have that hope that ma'am will be helpful or ma'am will be solving my issues. So it is not only issues connected to studies. They have a lot of issues themselves at home, with parents, with friends. So that is what they share. I feel I have I feel that power they have given me. And at times, I feel I've become a little powerful, even just by teaching children.
They also think that you will not judge them, right?
Yeah, I try to, but again, as an individual, sometimes I also cross my boundary and do that. But then I realize I should not. I should not, and I try my best, because I have realized judgmental is to be judgmental is something I'm going against the natural law, natural rules. Because everybody is unique. Everybody is unique. Everybody has his or her way thinking and solving problems. So I should not be judgmental, and I try my best not to do so.
Do your student come back and meet you after some years?
Yeah, meeting, like physical meeting, has become lessened also, because I've shifted from different places. But I do get mails. Sometimes students do WhatsApp me after many years also, and so yeah, I get mails, and or somebody tells me your student met me and she or he was relating or talking about you. So it happens, like a small incident I can relate to you. My daughter, who was living at Bangalore few years back, she was shifting her house and she was selling off some of her furniture. And then two boys had come in. Incidentally, I was at her home. I met them. They were my students when I was a teacher in class 5. Today they are adults. They're working in some corporate office in Bangalore. So it was so surprising, and they were also surprised. Ma'am, class 5 ma'am is sitting.
You
Very
could identify them.
surprising.
Yeah.
I could identify, they could identify me. Basically, they could identify me. They change, when they grow up.
Wonderful.
But I think I remain more or less the same, except for those white hair getting more.
What next you want to do as a teacher? I mean, is there any goals for yourself?
Yeah, so basically, I've been teaching urban children. It was children. Today, I'm teaching, of course, adults. I take spoken English classes and IELTS, PT, and all. But at the back of my mind, I have a desire to teach rural children. But physically, I'm not able to shift from my house to a rural area to teach the children. So, but still, I feel that because being in education for such a long time, I believe rural children need lot of good teachers to mentor them, to teach them. So that's my desire. If I could get an opportunity to teach rural children online, perhaps. Let's see. India is advancing. Maybe this also could be one day achieved.
Absolutely. We hope that you, the rural children, also can have your experience, and they can get your experience, and they can also get a good mentor for life. Thank you so much, Devi.
Thank you, Janvi, for giving me this opportunity.